Hello!
Yeah, stop moaning, don't worry, I'm not going to be doing hundreds of these unboxings every month. I just thought I'd do a different one to make a bit of a change. People are always asking me to do various other random blind boxes of stuff where you pay for and don't know what you're getting, and I don't usually bother, to be honest, because they all seem pretty similar to Loot Crate. But this one's from Zavvi, which was interesting, because it's not sort of a startup company or anything. It's an existing online retailer that does DVDs and Blu-rays and games and all that sort of stuff. Used to have a lot of bricks and mortar stores in the UK as well, but not anymore, I believe. But now they are doing the Zbox. It is a box from them with a hashtag and a Twitter thing on the front, and a little logo, and it looks quite big. Alright, I'm going to be completely honest. Also, a friend just a month or two back got one full of Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, and he was violently angry with how bad the stuff inside was. So I thought this might make for an interesting video, although it's probably increased massively in quality by then, because from his description I don't think it could have survived as it was. So a big box, that's always a nice start. This was £20, which is, I don't know where that really sits in these things, because most of them you have to get imported from America. But for a box full of stuff where you don't know what you're getting, it is a substantial amount of money, I suppose. Right, what's inside? Oh, the theme is retro, by the way, which again amused me greatly. Hopefully retro games, or maybe it's just going to be 70s socks, I don't know. Oh man, I do like the rather nice art there, which unfortunately I've not expected and therefore not set the camera up for. Bit of Green Hill Zone with Sonic and some Pac-Man. There's some Space Invaders and stuff on the top there, if you can see that. Pac-Man, oh right, I'll have to refigure that for later. But it's very pretty, take my word on it. And inside is not as much stuff as you'd think for a box of that size, but hey, it's all down to the quality. And we start off with Flumps, which are like a sweet mellow thing. Okay, I'm going to assume that is the sweet extra. There is a Pac-Man Pixel Bricks. Build your own pixelated Pac-Man. Blimey, take a while to put that together. I reckon 289 pixel bricks. I don't like it. Why don't I like it? So it looks like Pac-Man's rotting corpse or something. It just looks off. And I think I know why it looks off, actually, because Pac-Man was really only that pixelated in 2D. When he went into 3D, the first would probably be Pac-Mania, which was, well, it's more isometric graphics than proper 3D. But, yeah, that was kind of much higher resolution. They never looked that blocky, and he's got this weird gum thing. Don't like that at all. In fact, I've got a really nice 3D Pac-Man model, which dispenses sweets. I shall get it and do a jump cut. Ready? Bing! And here he is, lovely round Pac in all his glory. He used to dispense sweets when he put his eyes in, but then I ate all the sweets. Yeah, it looks rather nice as compared to the Walking Dead gummy version of him on the left, which will take about 1,000,000 years to assemble, but hey, at least it's a high-quality thing, I presume. I don't know what the little bricks are like. Yeah, they seem decent enough. They'd have to be high quality, actually. If not, they would collapse horribly, I suppose, or not fit together properly, which would be a bit shit all round. Let's put Nice Pac over to the side. There. Always nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. And Sonic the Hedgehog socks now. Because, yes, based on the Green Hill Zone colour theme, obviously you've got your blue sky and your green grass and your weird checkerboard earth, which for some reason makes up the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. Those were the days when video games were fast and bright and colourful, and when you collected 100 of something, it went bing-de-ling-ding-ding, and you got an extra life. That's how things should be. I think that's how nostalgia works anyway. Right, next, on the now getting disturbingly empty box, we have a shirt of the T. Well, it's in white, which is interesting, because usually these things are in black. It is Joystick Junkies, Arcade Machine Repairs, Maintenance and Service, Orange County, CA. That's a remarkably generic sort of t-shirt, really, from a company called Joystick Junkies. Well, good for them. Wow, that's pretty basic. Does the job. See, it feels very high quality, which is good. An Oh No entry. Hey, that's a reference to Oh No More Lemmings, a sequel to Lemmings. Your Lemmings, if you haven't heard of it, was a little game where you had little creatures who had many, many little deaths, unless you herded them correctly. It was bloody good back in the day. I haven't played it for years. Probably still stands up. And level complete. Enter. It's basically a nerdy door hanger where nobody will really understand what you mean. And apparently a Zbox exclusive, judging by that. It's very plasticky and reinforced, which is a good thing. It isn't just some bit of cardboard that will fall to bits. But again, not a whole lot of value in that. Oh my god. A Sega Game Gear console notebook. Oh, that's a beautiful notebook, but I imagine it is just literally a empty notebook to write stuff in. You won't need to blow into this notebook to make it work. That dusty past is behind us now. Find another excuse. What? Find another excuse to blow into a notebook? What the fuck are you talking about, lads? You've been in the medicine cabinet again? My God. Yeah, it's basically a pleasant enough notebook. It's empty, and it's loosely in the shape of a Game Gear. There's some nice printing on the front. The corners are very rough. I don't know if you can see that. It's just got the stuff bent around it there like that. And now onto the final pickings, which do seem to be very papery. I'm going to have to be careful with this one because there appears to be a Steam code on it. Hang on. Let's be careful there. Foldy, foldy. And it's Tango Fiest. I have heard of this. This is a top-down shooter with a very sort of retro vibe to it. I don't know any more to it than that, I'm afraid. Full game download, £9.99 value. Tango Early Access. That's interesting. You wouldn't think they'd give away early access games, would you? You'd think they'd give away complete ones. But fair enough. Is it actually still £9.99 though? I don't know. Balls. I have to go and check, aren't I? Hang on. I'll check and edit it in. There we are, marvellous. You've got the answer to that now, but I haven't got it in my head as yet. Well, if it is indeed a £9.99 value and you particularly want that game, that's half your money back already. If you didn't want that game, well, sucks to be you, matey. And, oh, hello, you found my shop of strange and wonderful things. That sounds like a reference. And then in a total copy of the Loot Crate thing, they're giving you a, wow. I'm actually amazed by how much of a Loot Crate copy this is. Do they have to license it from them or something? That's absolutely astonishing. Yeah, they've given you the old magazine nobody gives a flying shit about. It's very nicely printed and all that. And here we are with pictures of people in their funny socks or something. Absolutely marvellous. Here's an interview. Good God, this is exactly the same, isn't it? Makes you wonder how they... There's got to be some sort of... thing going on there. Lemmings door hanger, Pac-Man Paxel bricks. That sounds fantastic. Welcome to our top 10 round of our favourite retro games. Oh, go on then. Pac-Man? Yes, very good. Sensible Soccer? No, couldn't really get on with it. Had no interest in football. Super Mario Brothers? I don't think I've ever played the first one, really. The first Super Mario? Well, I have very briefly. Probably never spent much time there. Don't know, we didn't really have the Nintendo consoles around. Outrun, love Outrun, one of the very few car racing games I can enjoy playing to this day. Chucky, oh yes, Chucky Egg, an absolute classic. I am not going to say anything bad about Chucky Egg. Day of the Tentacle, do you know, I've never finished Day of the Tentacle. I don't think I've ever played Day of the Tentacle. I really like the old LucasArts point-and-click games as well. Why have I not played Day of the Tentacle? I must have a version of it somewhere. I was getting on to that. Paperboy, never a massive fan of Paperboy. We played the ZX Spectrum version quite a lot, but... yeah, it wasn't one of my top favourites or nothing. Space Invaders, well, yes, it is a classic in itself. Super Mario Kart is, of course, quite wonderful, and The Secret of Monkey Island, again, is quite brilliant. Yeah. Can't really disagree with many of your selections there, lads, all very safe. The Battle, Mario versus Sonic. Who wins? You decide. But you've given us all these sort of circles as to say what you think should win. That's just weird. Guess the game. Do you recognise these retro games from their gameplay screenshots? I certainly do. Number one is, of course, Dig Dug, which we used to spend a lot of time playing in the arcade on the grounds. It was only one of two arcade machines we had access to, but it is an excellent game. Two is clearly Castlevania. I couldn't specifically tell you which one, though, because it was, you know, a Nintendo-y thing, which we didn't have, but it's obviously Castlevania from looking at it. God, I love the Castlevania games they did for GBA and stuff years later. The ones where they had the sort of little RPG elements to them. Bloody love them. Three is The Last Ninja. The first one, I believe, yes, it's definitely the first one, because there's a Buddha in the top left look. Commodore 64 version by the looks of it. And four is Irobot, which is a really bloody old arcade game. Ah, the joys. Right. How it all began. Somebody made a video game and then we made this box. The end. Would I like to view your great range of pop vinyl figures? No, I frickin' wouldn't. Well, there's no badge, so that's good. Well, yeah. If you didn't want that game, you would not be getting very good value for money out of that, I don't think, really. It was certainly a lot better than the one my friend got, which he is still apoplectically angry about. Socks are nice, t-shirts good quality, but fairly plain. The Pac-Man thing, I think the Ghost would have worked a lot better. There we go, and, you know, this is a notebook. It's just quite a pretty one. Oh well. Not entirely impressed by that, to be brutally honest with you. Don't think I'll be doing it again. But on the plus side, I can now eat the flumps. Very few of you will get that reference. True fact, my best friend, when he was very young, wanted to be called Pootle after the character in the flumps. I shit you not. So anyway, yes, yeah, probably not worth the money, to be brutally honest. None of the items seem to be exclusive other than the door hanger, so, you know, it's all stuff you could just buy elsewhere. And, yeah, there doesn't seem to be a terrific amount of it, considering a large company has managed to buy lots of it at a large reduction and stick it in a box. Yeah.
Twitter.